Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet another deck. So, we ran a poll to see which one of the Modern Horizons 3 new legends you wanted me to convert into Commander deck. And the winner, after running it for 48 hours, was the Necrobloom. One white, black and green for a 2/7 legendary plant. Okay. Landfall. Haha. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. Okay, can cope with that plan, but full stop, sorry, it should no but, it's full stop. If you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead, and land cards in your graveyard have dredge 2. Right. Okay, so I can mill things into my graveyard to get my lands back into my hand to play to trigger the landfall. And this works really well if I play sack lands. Right, okay. This is what today's deck looks like. So, we're back. Here we go. This is how the deck looks anyway. Sorry, it's maybe a bit of a strange thing there, but hopefully it's not too disorientating. I just realised there's something wrong in the deck build and I've gone in and corrected it quickly before I carried on with the video. So here we go. Anyway, the Necrobloom, we'll leave it up here on the top. Landfall, we like things that dredge, it's all good. So, we want to take advantage of landfall, obviously. We want to play lands off top of our library. We want to play many of the lands we can turn. And we want to get lands back from our graveyard. And then use all them to make lots of things that help us win. Not too confusing. So, the creatures. Bristling Bill comes in. Get the +1/+1 counters and eventually double things up. Lotus Cobra for the mana ramp. Augur of Autumn is one we don't see that often. We can play lands from top of our library and look at the top card. That's fine. Quite happy with that for a 2/3 for 3 mana. And then if we do have the 3 creatures that make up the Coven thing, we can obviously cast creature spells from top of our library if we need to. So, yeah, okay, has an upside, but it's the land thing we're more interested in. Azusa, Lost But Seeking's here for the additional land drops, along with Calls Through Crowfix to get a little bit of a landfall trigger and get a life gain. Nissa, Resurgent Animus gives us a bit of a humped up, increased size Lotus Cobra once a turn, and then maybe we'll find another elf or an elemental if we need to. Nissa's here as well. Go and find us a basic forest, put it into our hand, then shuffle, and then eventually flip into the Sage Animist. Ruinat Excavator's here, so we play the land cards from our graveyard if we need to. Scoot Swarm. My usual disclaimer for Scoot Swarm, we have been crashing MTGO with Scoot Swarm again. In real life, fantastic. If you're playing this online, like you probably see me playing it, be a bit more careful with Scoot Swarm. Yeah, we can crash and it is easy and it's very annoying, especially with this deck. Anyway, Spring Bloom Druid, we sack a land when it comes into play and go and search our library up to 2 basic lands and put them into play tapped. Yep, cope with that plan. Tyler's Provisioner gives us food or treasure. The Tracker gives us clues, which gives us a little bit of card draw, which is really kind of missing in this deck, I'll be honest. So Tyler's Tracker does help. Topiary Stomper just goes and finds us a basic land, and when we have 7 or more, we get to attack with it, but it's a 4/4, so, you know, it just sits there until we can get there. People forget about it after a while, to be fair. Verge Rangers is from one of the commander sets. I can't remember which one. I have a feeling it was Lord of the Rings. Maybe wrong. This picture's from Commander 20, so no, it's in there. I think the original one was in one of the Lord of the Rings commander decks. First strike, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as an opponent controls more lands than you, may play lands from the top of your library. Another way, again, our land draw, keeping our lands coming. Wood Elves goes and fetches a forest and puts it into play. Yavimar Eldar, when it dies, you can search our library up for 2 basics and put them into our hand and then shuffle our library. Core Cartographer just goes and gets us any type of planes. We do have a few different types. Oracle and Muldai, play with the top card revealed, play additional land, excellent. Trove Warden gives us a landfall trigger, so we can start exiling target permanent cards from converted mana cost 3 or less. Really useful if you think one of your opponents is playing a removal heavy deck. You can play this, drop a few lands, save some of your key things like your Tyler's Provision and maybe a Topiary Stomper. When they kill this off, get them back, get the triggers, and off you go again. Yashan, Implacable Earth, is also here. Players can't pay life or sacrifice sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities, so shuts down a lot of the token generation stuff, which is quite nice. Green Sleeves gives us badges on a landfall trigger. Karamatra, God of the Harvest, lets us go and find a forest or a plains and put into play tapped whenever we cast a creature. Obnixilus the Fallen, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target player lose 3 life. If you do, put 3 +1/+1 counters on Obnixilus. Soon make Obnixilus very big and a big threat. Ancient Green Warden gives us reach, can play our lands from our graveyard, and doubles up our triggers. Hello, doubling up the triggers on the Necrobloom, like this plan. Last few, Rampaging Battles, Avenging Zendikar, it's a landfall deck, you would not have them in there. And Cultivated Colossus, because I like playing with this big card. Power and toughness each equal the number of lands we control. We get to put a land from our hand onto the battlefield. If we do, repeat the process. One Planeswalker, Nissa of the Shadow Barrels is here. That gives us a landfall trigger every time, puts a loyalty counter on itself. We can turn a land into 3/3 elemental. If we're desperate, -5 once we get there. Put a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands we control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with a couple of +1/+1 counters on it. That's fine. We have the very enlarged usual land seeking spells in. So we got Farseek, Nature's Law, Rampant Growth, 3 visits, Cultivate, Godoma's Reach, Circuitous Route, because we are playing Gates and it's slightly better. Sky Shroud Claim goes and gets us any forest. Again, that helps. Damnation, Wrath of God, bit of board control, so we had some mass removal in case we needed it. And Titania's Command is also here. Search for a couple of land cards, put them on the battlefield, maybe get some bears, or if we've got a whole load of zombies in play, pump them all up to 4/4s and go for a nice big attack. Artifacts ramp mainly with a few extra bits that help us with our theme. So Elixir of Immortality gets our cards back in our library if things go pear-shaped. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, one of each of the medallions do the ramp, along with one of each of the talismans to help out. And then things that lets us play our lands from our graveyard, Crucible of Worlds and Conduit of Worlds. Still sure about the Conduit of Worlds. Choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. Haven't cast a spell this turn. We can cast that and we can't cast anything else. Might be a way of getting back one of our creatures that's died off, if nothing else. Enchantments, Druid class for the extra land drops when we get to level 2. The Retreat of Hagra for the whole everyone loses 1, we gain 1, and then the Retreat of Kadzu to gain 2 life or chuck some +1/+1 counters around. We have got Anointed Possession and Parallel Lives here to double up on our token production once the Necrobloom gets going. Case of the Locked House gives us also an extra land drop, and then we can look at the top card of our library once we solve this, and you can play creatures and land spells from among the cards on top of your library. That's fine. Felidar Retreats here just to give us some more tokens. We get some pussycats if we need them, or we then go +1/+1, give everything vigilance, thank you very much. And Zendikar's Royal, because this technically is now being changed to landfall trigger. I know on Magic Origins version it doesn't say it does, but it is a landfall trigger, so you get elementals that way. To make sure we're hitting the landfall triggers, we are playing a lot of lands. We are playing 41. I think this may be too many, but I'm starting here and I may cut a couple down and put another couple of creatures in. If, and it's a big if Primeval Titan ever gets unbanned in Commander, which I very much doubt, and we all know the reasons why, it will go straight in this deck, just so we're clear on that. But it's never going to get unbanned. But that's one of the cards, Rule 0 conversation if you're playing in real life. People don't mind you playing with it. It does fit in here, but you got to have that Rule 0 conversation first. But my lands for this version online, white, black and green lands all the way through. A lot of search lands which we can surveil, stretch back to our hand if we need to. We'll go through it. We've got Field of the Dead in here just to make sure we do double up on our zombie token production when we can. 3 basic forests, 2 basic plains, 2 basic swamps, maybe a bit light. You may need to play more of them to get full advantage of some of the spells we have in the deck. But we do have things like Fortified Village could come out. Landwire Waste could come out, but we do have the other cards in here, like the Lush Portico helps with the forest fetching, Marsh Flats goes and fetches us some land, the Necroblossom Snarls here, you can take this out as well, to be fair. But yeah, it's basically play the lands you want to season it with. I am playing Terramorphic Expanse, and wherever the other one is, its equivalent, which I've forgotten the name of entirely as I record the video. The other one of these, basically I've played them in here because we are playing Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth and Urborg, so technically they come into play untapped, so they do become a basic land of those types for us, so they could help in the long run. Plus it's another name for the Necrobloom, so hey ho, we'll see. And that is it. It's my first attempt at one of the new MH3 Commander cards. Obviously, I haven't looked at anything else from MH3. There may be other landfall cards I've missed in there. But yeah, as I always say, when I do these decks, these are starting points. As I see more of the set, we can look at them when we're playing this on stream. But since the Necrobloom seems like the most popular one available from the poll, that's the first one we got done. The other 3 options on the poll you'll see next week. They'll come out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if I get time. But for now, thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you're down. If you can, if you're down, if you can, please do so. I'm trying to rap now and I'm old and not good at it. 428 of you have subscribed here on YouTube, so 72 short of hitting that magic 500 number. So if you can help me get there, I'd really appreciate it. When eventually MH3 hits, if you want to come and see me play this on Twitch, there's also a link down below to my Twitch. I streamed, as you watch this, on Thursday, depending where you are in the world, but my Thursday in the UK, I streamed last night. My next stream will be Sunday, so we'll be playing some of the OTJ stuff and maybe some other decks, going back in time a little bit as we wait for this set to release. But for now, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. You can come and see me on Twitch, and hopefully I'll meet you soon. Take care. Bye bye.